Welcome back to another Friday live workout. We're going to be using the sticks today. And I know this is probably not everybody has sticks, but hopefully if you are tuning in, you do have sticks. Yes, you can makeshift some PVC to do a lot of the similar movements, but we love the orange stick mobility sticks here. So we're going to be using these. Now I'm using a 5-footer right now, and we have 2 6s. So if you are using your sticks, having 2 long ones and a short one is going to be beneficial because we got several moves where we'll kind of switch around which length of sticks we use. First, I'm going to start with the 5-footer, the shorter stick, and we're going to do our kayaks. So I'm going to roll my shoulders forward, just like so. Step a little closer so you guys can check me out. All right. Really moving those shoulders. I'm trying to keep my head still, hip still on this one. Focus on the shoulder mobility. Now this is the forward kayak. All right, I'll show you from the side. I'm also going to do reverse kayak. Now I don't know why, but this seems to be a challenging movement for some people. You know, I always tell people if they're familiar with swimming, freestyle, and backstroke in the pool. Alright? I'm just rolling that, going for about 20 to 30 seconds each direction. And then I'm going to switch it up and do pendulums. So I'm going to raise this up just a hair so we can actually get a little better view. Okay? Alright, so now we're going to go across the chest, same stick. And once again, head still, hip still. I'm just going side to side. Transverse pendulum. I'm doing a little bit of tension into the stick, and you can obviously vary how much tension you put into the stick, so you can have a little contraction or isometric contraction by pushing or pulling the stick, and I'll talk more about that when we do the different movements. I'm feeling it a lot in my chest and upper back right now, side to side. And then I'm doing the frontal pendulum, right, up in here. Right in front of my body, pushing those arms up. These are kind of some go-tos I do every day with the stick I have at home, just because I have a ton of tightness and upper back, sore neck, sore upper back, tight upper back. So I love doing this when I wake up just to kind of get everything moving, lubricated, joints lubricated. Go back to kayaks. Backwards. Side to side. Transverse pendulum, I should say. And frontal, up and down. Alright, so now I'm going to do a nunchuck stretch. So a shoulder external rotation stretch. So I'm going to drop it behind my shoulder. So I got my right hand, stick it behind my shoulder, reach across my belly, grab the stick. So arms out to the side like so. Okay? And I'm just going to hold this one, about 5 count. And I'm going to rep it out a little bit, but like I said, you can hold for longer, do longer holds if you'd like. Alright, but I'm going to here to the side. I'm putting my elbow in front, pull it across my belly. Looking at external rotation in both positions. Alright. These are just about 5 count holds. Just want to review this. Obviously, like I said, you can hold for longer. And there's definitely benefits for holding for longer too, opposed to just kind of being this more repping it out. There we go. Kind of showed this one from the side too for you guys. More of this here. Alright, let's switch sides. So why they call it the nunchuck, make sure I don't hit anything on the ceiling. I don't know if you ever saw the old Kung Fu movies. Right? They used to throw their nunchucks around. So that's probably why they named it the nunchuck. Alright, so here, we're once again got that arm out to the side. Here, almost like a 90-degree angle with your arm. Go across. That's like kind of really good movement right here. If you need, working on rotator cuff, whether it be looking at range of motion or trying to strengthen. You can also, once again, like I mentioned earlier, you can pull the stick apart, push together to add a little isometric contraction in that position. All right. You can vary how much you pull it apart. You do 100% pull, 100% push. There's a lot of things you can do with the stick. Obviously, it's not big flexibility, mobility, but you can get some strength training, especially through isometric strength, using the sticks. I'm just going to do one more here. Now I'm going to do a similar movement, give some external rotation, but also internal rotation in the shoulder, and we're going to go ahead to teeter-totter. All right, so we're going to here, pull it across the shoulder, and then pull this hand in front of the hip pocket. So this arm kind of looks like what we just saw in the nunchuck stretch. Okay, this top arm, my left hand. And then this one here, stretching the front of my right shoulder. All right, I'll show you from the back view kind of what it looks like on the back. Across my back, I tell people it kind of looks like a sword. If you have a sword across your back, you just pull in. More, and we'll switch sides. Show you guys from side view also. So I'm going to switch my hands. So this one's over my shoulder, like I got my sword, right? And it's here. Now with this arm that's straight here, so my left hand, I point my elbow to the ceiling. Some people have some weird hypermobile arms and where they can kind of round it like this, or get way up high like this. That's not me. So this stretch might not be good for some of those people, or might not be beneficial. For someone like myself, I love this one. We're going to switch to some hamstrings and hips next, after I finish one more teeter-totter on each side. And we're going to switch to longer sticks. All right. So now I'm going to grab my 2 6-footers here. So longer sticks. Like I said, these movements I'm going to show you is why it's beneficial to have 2 long sticks. Right? Obviously, you can do a ton of stuff with just 1 stick, but the double long sticks is beneficial, and I'll show you some of the movements. So the movements we'll do next couple ones. We'll show you why 2 long sticks are beneficial. All right. So the first one is Captain Morgan. All right. So I got sticks arranged. If I'm a clock, my body's a clock. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock with sticks. A big toe touches the front stick, abduct. Outside of the foot touches the 3 o'clock stick. Okay? I'm going to open up a little bit wider. Okay? I'm going to try to keep my head going forward. Just work that leg by itself. Alright? Try not to turn my body. So I'm not turning my body. I'm not using my left hip to rotate. Just adducting with the right leg. Alright, try to keep the knee up as high as I can, too. You can push into the sticks, put a little tension into the sticks, a little feedback. Try to make sure that knee is over the toe. I'll show you one on this side. Switch sides, but knee over the toe. Okay, switch sides. And there's a couple different variations of this movement you can do. I'll show you. I'm going to do a couple of the just adduction. Alright. Push, push. Kind of hold out there for a few seconds. You can do some flexion, extension, right? Up and down the stick. Right. You do a little hip swivels, internal, external rotation on the stick. You're really working some balance too with this. Obviously, you got these 2 sticks to assist you so you don't fall over. But that foot that's on the ground is definitely working, maintaining my balance. One more. All right, so that was Captain Morgan. Now we're going to go into X-stretch. All right, now this is, I know I was saying hips and hammies, but this one's more of an upper back lat stretch, really. So I'm going to get my hands higher than my head, and then drop my weight. All right, so I'm going to show you from the side. Whoop. Knees away from the stick, so I'm really hinging. So if my hands weren't up here, it kind of almost looked like deadlift position. All right? All right, so now I'm just hanging. I feel the pull in my upper back, kind of right in my armpit area. I'm slowly going to move the sticks right and left. I'll show a couple reps here, and then I'll go front view for you guys. Alright, so front view for you guys. Alright. I'm really focused on keeping my hips still on this one. Alright, you can move your hips. There are certain variation or movements where we kind of go side to side. I'll show you the ninja in a little bit, which is actually similar to this with one stick. But this one I'm just focusing on my back. So I'm really just keeping my hips still. Alright? Alright, so I know I promised a little hanging stretch, so I'm going to show you guys that now. This one you can use one stick, you can do this kneeling, but I'm going to show you with two sticks, okay? So I just got sticks on my shoulders, kind of like train tracks, or like a little ramp, I should say. I'm going to have one leg out in front, a little closer for you guys. One leg out in front, toe up to the sky, kind of locked out. His back knee is bent. All right, I'm going to hip hinge once again. Push my hips back, head and chest down, slide down the sticks so I feel it behind this leg. All right, behind the lead leg. All right, just going to hold for about 10 count. Slide back up. Climb back up, switch leg. All right, so I can show you guys. I'll show you guys a little bit of an angle. There you go. Just feel it right behind that leg. Do a couple of those, and I'm going to show you a little variation of this too, which is good. So if you're really looking to stretch your hamstrings. A lot of these moves, like I said, I'm not going to tell them. I wouldn't say a lot. There are certain, like this move, you could probably do without sticks, right? You can just do a hip hinge, stretch the hammy. Sticks are just aids, really, especially for this one. That's why, especially someone who maybe doesn't have a lot of balance, maybe they're a little older. These are good, these are helpful, I should say, to maintain that and give them a little bit more probably assurance that they're not going to fall over or something like that, right? So yes, probably most younger and athletic people might not need this sticks to do this movement, but I like it because I can also lean on it too. All right, so now when we got this leg out in front, and I'm just going to floss the leg, rotate the leg. All right, internal, and go from a little front view so you guys maybe see better. All right, internally and externally rotate it. And we'll switcheroo. Same thing on the other leg. Try to make sure you can see the sticks are blocking it. I'm really maintaining a good hip hinge position. That's where I really feel the maximum amount of stretch in that backside or backside of that leg. So if I tell people, they think it's a contest to see how far down they can hinge, but obviously that's good. You're doing a little, you are, stretching more mainly your lower back. For this one, if you want to feel it quickly and behind the leg, you just keep your back nice and neutral, nice and flat back. All right. All right. So now we're going to talk about, or we're going to show you that knee stretch. So this one really works inside, outside of the hips, and also it's another kind of hanging movement. So you kind of get a good stretch, really from kind of the wrist down into the lat on this side. All right, so back up a hair. Probably for me, this is a good enough height, but I'm probably a tweener. I might need a little higher, and they actually do have some higher sticks. So I'm going to kind of find my position. I'm hitting my lateral lunge, so I'm just hanging from the stick. All right, so I can feel the pull. Oh wait, that's not what I wanted. We're going to feel the pull from here. Kind of starts right around my wrist, down in my armpit, into my lat on this side. Now I'm going to lunge to the other side, pull the stick back. Okay? I'm going to do a couple reps with this, and I'll show you from the side view. And as you saw, I just did that way. I can use this free hand, kind of brace on my thigh a little bit, pull this arm behind me, really opens up that chest, and then I come back over here and use this free hand just to hang, to hold, you know. But sometimes I can slide if I don't hold on to it. One more, and then I'll change my angle. I'll actually go side view when I switch sides. All right, so here's the side view. So I'm doing my lateral lunge, stick is behind, or excuse me, knee is behind the stick, right? And then I lunge the other side, pull the stick back, right? Open up that chest on that side. This is good, you know, I like this too because it's good. I think it's kind of a good prep for your lateral lunge. If you're doing a leg day, you're doing some lateral lunges, maybe with some weight, I like this movement. It's good kind of movement prep for that lateral lunge. And that's another benefit of these sticks. I mean, I'll show you a little squat movement prep move before we finish, but that's another aspect of the sticks that are beneficial aspect is that they essentially provide movement prep. Right? So like I said, you can do a great warm-up. I mean, we've seen multiple pro sports teams, NFL and NBA, have these on the court or on the field before their game, warming up, you know. So it really, they're not only increasing mobility and flexibility, you know, over time, but it's also a good tool to have for a dynamic warm-up. So, all right, so let's go ahead and do said squat prep movement called dumpy squat. So you definitely need a ceiling or a rafter, something to be able to push the stick into up above your head, okay? So I'm gonna have this. Now this is a 6-foot stick. Once again, a long stick is probably more beneficial to this, depending on how high your ceiling or your item that you're gonna push into is. So my hands in front of my belly button, like here, stacked up. You guys can say, I'd say I'm probably about a forearm length away from my stick. Okay? I'll show you the side view to start. Alright, and I'm going to keep tension into the ceiling, push myself down into my squat. Alright, hold here, all the way back up. So the goal is to maintain the stick on the ceiling. Alright? So once again, if you're doing a little squat prep, or you're doing a squat day, warming up with this will be beneficial. Alright, get all those, get your nervous system turned on, getting ready for your squat. Show you from the front side, or front view. I think this could be another, like when you're teaching kind of squat form, this is a great movement to work for that. You know, a lot of the young athletes are, you know, getting into probably hitting that age where they start adding some weights to their squats. Having proper technique is key, so this is a great movement to warm up with. One more. Alright, we're going to do one more. We're going to do a slap shot, which is a thoracic spine rotation, but we're also going to do a little slap shot with lateral lunge. We did lateral lunge, but this is kind of a good combo movement that you can do with stick mobility. So the slap shot here, I'm going to hip hinge, feet about a little wider than hips. And I'm just going to rotate the stick and touch it down anywhere in between my toes, right? So ideally, obviously, if you go further to the opposite side, you got more range of motion. But I actually want to touch the ground with the stick, get a little feedback there, okay? Now my head's staying still, my hips are staying still. This is working all, focusing on upper back mobility, range of motion, okay? And once again, you can push and pull the stick. You can pull the stick apart. You can push it together. Add a little tension into the stick. And what I'm going to do now, after just do my regular slap shots, now I'm going to add a lateral lunge. So get a little wider stance, toes at an angle, lateral lunge to the side. Okay? So I'm lunging to the side, my hand is down. Left hand towards the ground. Lunge to the left. This really, not only are you working your lateral lunge movement, work a little hip mobility, you're also, it really kind of opens up that chest even more on that top one. Keep it right on my lower back. and moving it side to side. A couple side views for you. One more. All right. All right, that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little stick mobility tutorial stretch session. If you guys didn't catch it out today, we'll put it on our feed, be up there for a week, and then it goes to our YouTube channel. So you can check out all the past live workouts on our YouTube channel, Tampa Strength YouTube channel. And I will see you next week.